Hello, dear colleagues. I want to share with you an information about the topic Principles of Natural Capital Preservation in the context of Strategy of State Environmental Safety prepared by the group of authors named Valeriia. The aim is to define the methodological principles and methods of natural capital conservation on the basis of foreign experience. Also, you can see the subject and the object of the research on the slide. So the term natural capital was proposed by David Pearce as a way to underline the role of nature in supporting the economy and human well-being. All of these capitals support the economy and human well-being, yes, can be defined onto types. And as you can see, man-made capital, it's like assets used to produce goods and services, such as machines, tools. Yes, financial capital is, of course, all financial assets and money. Human capital, it's assets in the form of knowledge, education, motivation, work skill, mental and physical health. Social capital, and it's like includes social trust, norms, and networks that facilitate social intellectual interactions, and of course like actually natural capital, so it's like actually compromises of the systems and abiotic assets of the planet and provide people with exploitable resources like fossil fuels, minerals, and generate the flow of benefits through these ecosystem services. Yes. Here you can see a distinction between ecosystem capital and abiotic resources. In reality, there is no actually clear-cut boundary between biotic and abiotic components. For example, water is an abiotic factor, but is included under ecosystem capital as living organisms play a modulating role in its cycle, and water plays a key role in all ecosystem processes. However, this distinction helps to identify and classify different types of natural capital, which is important in the context of developing a natural capital accounting approach. Another dimension is this, like actually figure shows the relationship, like in fact, between these concepts of assets and flows. So concept of ecological network is like actually manifestation of such environmental innovation. It's like aimed at more efficient use and preservation of natural capital. Structural elements of this network include, as you can see on the slide, territories and objects of nature reserve fund, forest lands, recreational lands, yes, and also territories that are places of residence of growth and species of fauna and flora listed in the Red Book of Ukraine. There is an offer by the researchers to differentiate state regulation in the field of environmental safety on three different levels. The first level, according to the researchers, includes management of central public authorities of the state by a set of mechanisms. Second is aimed at formation of socially adequate state policy on environmental safety management methods and ensuring effective functioning of mechanism of public administration and state control over compliance by all authorities, institutions, and organizations and individuals with current legislation. Personally, in our opinion, it is quite obvious to single out the third level. It's like actually a regional government. And fourth level is like level of local authorities, self-governing institutions. And the fifth is the level of specific economic entities and environmental facilities. So if we moving further, so we can find that scientists highlight following conditions for principle improving of the state environmental policy and state regulation of environmental safety in Ukraine. They are listed on the slide, but the main is identification of social factors, use of environmental protection, is education of ecological thinking of citizens. It is creation of single methodological basis for the formation of normative indicators with their legislative consolidation. And also it's really interesting, the most important attraction of economic initiative, like actually instruments for preservation of natural capital, like grants, bonuses, eco grants, eco credits, emissions trading, and so on. So the figure illustrates that various analytical tools need to be combined to enable the different analytical angles to manage natural capital in an integrated perspective via a range of policy instruments. Natural capital accounts remain central to the overall analytical approach, but are complemented by other knowledge sources. So, benefits of the ecosystem accounting developing, yes, are the next, and they are presented on the slide. And the main is like actually our ecological and modeling knowledge of ecosystem processes, yes. So it helps us in bringing consideration into ecosystem as a part of economic policy making, yes, and it creates better information flow on status and trends as for their ecosystem too. So like actually to sum up everything that was mentioned about, we are able to come to the next conclusions. Yes, so conducting scientific research provides grounds for grouping principles of natural capital conservation by the following three components: biological, is environmental; economic, organizational, is like on the highest level, managerial ones. Since the organic world on Earth consists of separate complex formations of different levels, each formation has specific problems, so different levels of biological principles are identified simultaneously. So it is also proposed to include sustainability principle or ecological balance and development of green economy, and economic principles of natural capital conservation can be mandatory. Here you can use licensing, taxation, payments, and initiatives like grants, yes, bonuses, insurances. Organizational principles are related to implementation of public administration mechanisms in the field of natural capital preservation. So, improving and implying methodology of natural capital conservation on the basis of the best foreign practices, taking into account national characteristics and the current regulatory framework, will create an effective mechanism of natural capital conservation in Ukraine. For now, it's all. Thank you for your attention.